Hi, Angela here. I'm finally making this video because I told so many people for so long that I would do it, showing you step by step of what I do for myself to put makeup on. And I get questioned about foundation to every product that I use because I use a lot of store, we call it drugstore brands. And I do also use high end too, but for me, this is what I use. Been a makeup artist for 17 years, so I buy both qualities. And for clients, I use the best, and then for myself, I like drugstore because I use a lot of it every day. So starting first, before you put anything on, I like to moisturize. And right now, I use, believe it or not, I use the Avon, the Moisture Rich. I like it because it's thick and my skin is super dry. So I like it because it leaves it nice and like this, dewy. So then I start off with my foundation, which I use my Sephora. There you go. And then put it right here and then get started. Usually people say, you do the eyeshadow first, or you see people where they just do everything up here and then they go back into foundation. However you like. There's no right or wrong way of doing makeup. I mean, as long as you like it, I don't see what the big deal is. So after you put it on, I actually already did this, so that's probably why you don't see much going on because I covered all the redness already. My bad. But anyhow, it's basic foundation all over the face. Another thing I do for the skin, I usually start with the skin first. I create the nice canvas to create the painting. So that's why I do foundation, everything else first, powder, then I go into the eyes last, and lips are definitely last. So next I bought this at Big Lots. Some of you buy it, some of you don't. It comes in a kit just like this. As you can see, this is my favorite. And this is a concealer stick, and this is like the foundation part of it as well. It's super thick. It's definitely, obviously, not my complexion, just like that. But I've been using this for 4 years now. Best concealer ever. Not just for this, like this. You guys are actually seeing all this. But I do it for my eyeshadow base, believe it or not. Best one ever because I think it's so thick that it's drying. But for this one, I use it, same brush. I use it for underneath my eyes. Right there where you see it. Some people are used to putting that red or the correctors in. Again, whatever you like. It again, there's no right or wrong way. This is just specifically for what I do, and it depends on my clients. Like if I have clients that have redness, purples, dark circles, bruises, you'd be surprised. But it all every little trick helps. I mean, I used to love Benefit, the cosmetic line, because they were known for like the tricks of the trade. So that's how I knew even highlighting was, because it was from back then. So I put it on where I need it. Right here, all the dark shadows, right? And okay, before I start to blend, I get my blender beauty blender. At first, I was like $25 for a sponge, but after I used it, it makes sense because you can wet it and it will expand. And the more moisture, especially for me for dry skin, it actually blends the two together. Like moisturizer blends in, it blends in your concealer. But point underneath the eye, and then just tap it in. Some of you feel like you can still see my bags. Well, you probably could. Again, I'm not trying to impress anybody but myself. So I'm not trying to compete with anybody. It's basically what you like, what makes you feel pretty. And I feel pretty for me. Obviously, you guys are asking me to finally do this. Sometimes I take the concealer stick, go right underneath it again. It doesn't really do much because I just haven't been getting enough sleep because I work 3 jobs, but what are you going to do? Okay, moving forward. Um, Most people will put the dark concealer, which looks like this, but it's dark, like for dark skin. That's where you want to chisel in your skin. But I don't do that because this is more for day makeup for me. If I was going out night or photo shoots, that's where those to detail the chiselness of your skin, your jawline, your nose, the structure. But this is for me for every day, and people look at you up close and personal, so they're like, it looks like you have tons of makeup on. So I don't do that, especially throughout the day. So I'll get my powder brush, use my base pressed powder. The pressed powder I'm using is the Avon. If you see that dirty handprint. I use the Avon pressed powder. Dust it on first. Try to do this fast because I know this is a time consumption here, and you don't have all day to watch or practice with me. But a lot of the stuff I use is drugstore, and I can actually say my foundation definitely, and my eyeshadows. And I'll show you why my eyeshadows in a second. But right now, after I dust it all on, I go back in with a sponge, and then tap it in where I need extra. As you can see, it's still because pressed powder is just to slightly set it, but because I'm trying to build a little bit more coverage, I'm pressing it in with this. So again, you start off with your. So if I go like this, you can't see my bags, but if I go like this, you can see it's fine. Excuse my nightgown. I'm wearing a nightgown, believe it or not. Anyhow, and then as soon as I got that on, I'm gonna go in what I got at Ross. Some people find Ross, DD's is underneath Ross kind of deal, but it's a kit that came like this. It came with a a brown, a pink, and there's also a highlighter, but it's put away in my kit, so I don't want to dig for it right now. But there's actually three, and it was only $5, which I love. Oh, by the way, the concealer with the stick was $1.99. Perfect. That's why I've been an addict for 4 years. But this right here, the three that came with the highlighter, the blush, and the contour, was only $5, and that was at Ross. So then with this one, because it's just a basic flat brown, no shimmer, matte is actually good, which is a yellow tone, which is good for my skin tone. Sometimes they come off a little too ashy, which you don't want. So from here, if I'm gonna go like this, you can actually see where it was meant to be, but because I'm a little overweight right now, but it's okay. So you're gonna go right in there, just like that. Other side. I like to do side before I start building in. I like to get it even first, and then I go back in and blend. Either add more, add a little, just like that. Another thing is we want to do our chin. This, what you see right here. I start from the earlobe, work down the jawline, all the way over. Circular motion, just like that. Some people do their forehead because they don't like their big forehead. I don't mind my big forehead. I'm actually loving it because it's a big one and I know how to rock it. I don't care. Some people like it, some people don't. But again, this is not for other people. This is for yourself. So moving on, I'm gonna get a same brush, little one, a little powder brush. Use the same thing because I need to contour a little bit of my nose and around this area. So slightly dust it up and over because I'll explain later. But it's basically because my eyebrows are so far apart. As a kid growing up, I didn't know better. I just thought I see my mom do it, so why can't I do it? I started tweezing, and I thought the hairs that shot up was not supposed to be there, so I decided to take them all off. Little did I know they don't grow back. So here we are. So just enough to chisel it, and then some people like to do that roundness to make it look like a super round tip of a nose, like a ball of a nose. So you can just go stroke it slightly, just the tip of the brush, just like that. You can see it, which that's the point. And then when you get your highlighter, I have a highlighter right here. This was $3.99, also at Ross, and it comes with a golden one, a basic highlighter with a pink undertone, and then a pink blush. But I'm going to use this one as my highlighter. that gives that ball effect. Then I like to use my finger to blend it in a little bit more. Great. Okay. I also use the blush that came with it. It's bright pink, also a flat, but it's okay because that's what the highlighter is for. And then just right in between, right above where we contoured, apples of the cheek. Perfect. And then that's basically our our base. What I like to start off with is a fresh canvas. Next, I'm going to go into brows. The brows I like to use is the Sephora. This is just a basic brown. This is a matte coffee break brown, flat. Some people like to use pencil. Pencil is perfectly fine. Pencil on top of powder. Pencil because it has a little bit more of the wax consistency in it, so it'll last a little bit longer. But whatever you prefer, I use my angle brush and I go ahead and do my brows. So some people start off way over here and make it dark. The thing is, you start halfway in, right here, and then you follow your natural arch. And if this is something that you don't know how to do yet, that's something you should try to figure out first before doing the whole makeup tutorials or wondering what makeup brands you should buy. Really start practicing with just your brows. I don't have many, so I go and do it as I go. My eyebrows can change whether I want thin ones or thick ones. It depends on what look I'm going for. I do it both. But today I'm just going to do basic. It's kind of hard to see in the camera because it looks funny because I'm going super slow, it looks like, and I'm going off. Just like that. And I'll show you how it makes it look from dark to light. Again, this is just simple. Some people like it really dark, and that's perfectly fine. I do it dark too sometimes, but when I do it dark, believe it or not, this is I won't recommend this because you're not supposed to do this. But if you do this for yourself, that's fine. I lick the tip of my brush like that, dip it in my shadow, so then you can see I can make it darker. I know that's not sanitary, so I wouldn't recommend doing this on someone you don't know. I do this just for myself when I'm in a rush and I don't have time to go wet it or I don't carry water with me, kind of deal. But I first do it dry so you can see the difference, right? And then this side. Start off not all the way to the far end, but work on your arch first. I know I'm probably going to get an earful of that one. But again, this is just something I do so you guys can see. Um, I've never done anything like this before. This is probably why it's going to be such a long video because I've never done this. I can talk to people all the time in person. Um, I can speak, I can teach, I can show, I can do all of that. But to actually record myself, it's a whole nother ball game. And I give a lot of credit to those people that can do it. Again, okay. And then but people's been asking me, so this is the only reason why I decided to do it because I felt like there's people I can't get to, I can't show, or people that live in other towns, and this is probably the closest thing I can do. Letting you guys in my bedroom and showing you this. So I'm doing this on my iPad. So as long as you get them as close as you could possibly can, remember they're supposed to be fraternal, not identical. So get your powder brush and then slowly strike it up right here. This is how I do it. This is the Some people do with the little powder thing, but I do it with powder. I'm still trying to set it. And so far, so good. Okay, moving forward, I'm going to take a little bit of my concealer stick. You guys remember that one, which was this one right here. I'm going to get a concealer brush. I carry all my brushes. I don't really show you much of my brushes because There's no specific brand you have to buy. You don't have to buy the most expensive brushes to do this because I honestly don't. Because how often do you keep that brush forever? I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I had some brushes like this that I've had for 10 years. This is a MAC brush and it still looks good as new. But I mean, given the fact that everything else that I have, it's I bought the kit right here. It comes with all these little ones. It was like for $18 for like a brush of 50 or something like that. But it's just enough to practice with. So after you get your concealer brush, mine looks like this. Use my phone. It looks like that. Get my concealer. And then this is where people like to reshape their brows. This is what we call a cleanup, just to sharpen them up a little bit better. And then when I stroke it down like that, just like that, and I use my finger to glide it over. Okay, other side. I always start in the middle because I feel like you get more control of how much goes on before you get to the inner corner right here. Because if you start off right here, it's a big old chunk. And then here, at least you can start and then blend it together and then stroke it down to blend it in. Rub it out. Same thing because I told you guys this is my concealer stick. This is my eyeshadow. I put it on right there. Right there. And I get my fingers, tap them in. Almost there. Another thing that we have, all my makeup's everywhere. This is another palette I got. This is also from Big Lots. Or, no, I apologize. This is from Forever 21. I rip off, no, this was actually from Dee Dee's. I apologize again. I can tell because it has a purple sticker on it. So Dee Dee's, and this was actually, I don't spend more than $6 and I need to. So this was a matte, all matte eyeshadows, and this was $6. And if you're like me, I'm all about good deals. Get a powder puff brush, get to the light one, go right in the middle, stroke it in. Light one. I always start in the middle. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I've messed up so many times before that it always got chunky. And then here I have more control because that's where most of the color goes anyway, is the brow. She's gonna have to wait. My mom. Okay, moving on. That's the only colors I really use for my brows. But because we're gonna do some color today so you can actually see what I'm using, I'm gonna show you what I use. So this is a Blockbuster collection that I bought. Well, actually it was given as a gift. It comes with pockets on the side with all lips. And on this compartment, oops, I dropped my phone. And then this one comes with gels and lips as well. So you can see it. So today, just so you can see some of the color, I'm going to use the blues all in this range. Okay. So right now, this one is going to go first. So you can see it, how vibrant they come out. So if I'm using that blue, right on top of my concealer, they're pretty vibrant. And I just slowly tap it in, blending it all the way up. Don't go any higher than that, and you're done. So again, I'm using this blue. Brown. A flat, the crease color should always be a flat, a matte color because it doesn't look so muddy or look so messy. So I'm using a basic brown. So that was basically the blue. Next thing you can do is add on, you can always add on black in your crease. I'm gonna get a smaller brush though, because I'm trying to do little details. Right here. This is actually from e.l.f., believe it or not. This is an e.l.f. brush. The two white ones that I've been using, e.l.f., e.l.f. I got this one at a makeup show, which was, if you have anybody's ever been to one, they're like $3. So we're gonna take the small brush again. I'm gonna get black because it's easy to see. So I'm gonna go right here where they meet from the outer corner to the brow. Stroke it in right there. Right? Not we'll focus too much on the other side yet. I mean, what I'm doing, the crease. So once I get that down, make sure they're even. Same, go back to the side. I'm gonna go right between the brown and the blue. Right, you can actually see it right there. And then do it again. Right where they meet. Stroke it in. Now I've been told, why am I going to do a video when people are going to see everything that you do? They're going to learn. They're not going to need you anymore. And that's fine. My goal, and it's always been my goal, is if I can teach somebody, show somebody, empower somebody, I'm going to do it. And if this helps somebody, great. If it doesn't, that's fine too. You know, the goal is if you can take one thing that I do, then my goal is accomplished. And before I continue, okay, next we're just gonna do eyeliner. Some people like liquid, some people like cream, some people like gel. Again, it's whatever you feel comfortable with, and you don't know until you try different brands. There's different brands for everything. Right now, because I keep all the good stuff for my clients, I keep my stuff, which is just as good, but I know my skin, so I know how long it will last. The difference between inexpensive and expensive is how long it's gonna last. Bottom line. So I'm gonna use my Avon again. The only reason I have so much Avon is because my sister sold it. But I have Avon Everlasting, and it's a felt tip liquid liner. She gave me a mirror too. But it looks just like that. And then for doing the eyeliner, I like to go right where we did the line, right there. I don't know if you can see it. And then again, I do the other side to where I want it. Once I get those figured out, then I go halfway in the middle, just like that. And then I connect it all the way over. This is what I call a basic application. Again, if you wanted to do something more extravagant, you can add glitter. You can get glitter on the tip of your eye, center in the center, and or you could add, like I said, all the different fun colors in the inner corner. People do white in the inner corner. Um, Again, as long as you get your basic down, then you're good. And again, this is just what I like. Going back, because you can see that I'm not the best at all. I mean, when on myself, concealer. Again, don't try this at home. If you have makeup wipes, great, but I like to clean up right here just to make it more straight. Little trick. Again, this is just on myself, and then eventually, to do it on a customer or a client, um, use a makeup wipe. Squeeze makeup remover, squeeze it on there, make sure it's nice and tight, and then take it off. I'm gonna get my black eyeliner because everybody should have one. I have so many black pencils, it's crazy, and I don't even remember which one I like better. But I use a lot of NYX. Um, they're just as good. I mean, if I could afford the MAC ones for myself, I would, but I don't. So, um, I always have a towel next to me because I wipe my hands a lot, or my brushes or something. And then I do the eyeliner. Nice. So as you can see, it's not as dark as like Smolder would be like from MAC, but the great thing is that it stays good wax in it, so it hardly moves. Another thing that I do for any of my eyeliners is I get the same old brush that I did to detail the black, get the black in, and go right underneath it. Some people, you might have carbon from MAC. MAC is just as good, nice and black. Everything I put on, I smack it to take the excess off. So I'm not left with all this black underneath my cheek to make it more rich, more black. hmm Okay, but because I'm trying to show you guys different stuff, normally I'd be done. I'm done, I'm ready to go out the door. But because I'm going to show you just a little bit more, um, I'm going to take a lighter, the same blue family I was in. I'm going to take the lighter version with a bit of shimmer, and then I'm going to go right here in the inner corner, just to brighten it up. I just realized this is a new tablet for me, so I'm still learning how to use it, but it's not like the best lighting. I noticed that too. So there, I just popped open my eyes. Another thing you can do is take something with shimmer. The only thing I have, usually I have glitter, but I don't have any glitter on me because it's all in my kit. So I'm going to take this one. It's from Avon. Thanks, sis. But it's the white one with shimmer. I'm going to take a loose brush right there. You can see how you see all fall off. And I'm going to go right in here in the center just to give it a sparkle. Normally it'd be glitter, glitter. I don't know if you can see that, but mascara. Now I use L'Oreal Carbon. I use L'Oreal. Um, I use a lot of L'Oreal, believe it or not. L'Oreal, but I also use Falsies. I've seen so many people put in their mascaras. I just ran out of Carbon, but I've been using Voluminous. Um, I use honestly 2 to 3 different ones because I don't wear fake lashes every day, only on special occasions. So you basically do your mascara. Wiggle it side to side, wiggle it side to side, and then extend. Wiggle it, extend. And then after I got them all separated, like fanned open, I go on top of them and coat them down. Take off any eyeshadow that's on top, and then go back up. And then, like me, as you can see, I just hit it. Let me get my thumb, take it off because it's sitting on top of eyeshadow, so it'll come right off. The goal is to hurry up and set them because mascara dries pretty fast. Hope you can see that. Other side. So when I do my makeup every day and people see my pictures, like, I wish I could wear makeup, I wish I could wear bold colors, I wish I could do this, I can do that. Well, this is basically everything in a nutshell. As long as you can get this concept down of how I did my eyeshadows, you change the blue to a green. You change the green to an orange. Maybe you'll change the brown to a red. You know what I mean? And so forth. You just get this concept down, switch your colors out. It's really that simple. Some people have been doing this for years. I've been doing this for 17 years, but I didn't wear makeup prior to learning it. I mean, all high school, I think I know to put mascara on and pink lipstick, but it takes practice. Bottom, I stroke side to side, other side. I never knew why we have to stretch our faces out, but years, I guess. And then wiggle down, wiggle down. Again, if you don't know how to put mascara on, practice that. Done with that one. And I go one more time. And never pump. I hate that. Circle. Because you're pumping air in there and it dries it out faster. Mascara is only good for like what? A month, really. And then stroke it up. Something about this brush, I don't know, I love it. If I could buy mascara from a high-end brand, I used to use Definisil's by Lancome because the bristles in there were like needles and like they could really get in there and pull. I loved it. So this is just as good. If you can put on fake lashes every day, that is even better for you because you have patients do that. The thought of sticking something in my eye just drives me bonkers. And mascara is as good as it's gonna get. Perfect. Okay. Next would be the last thing on our list would be our lips. And um, this is my lip kit. I mean, they're usually lined up, but because I get them on the go. But this is something I love. Now, normally I would either use the Kat Von D lip stain, Win Love, but because I'm showing you inexpensive ways of doing your makeup, I'm going to use the e.l.f. And it looks just like this. It is amazing. This actually has a pink undertone, and there's one that has just the basic nude brown. But you can see it right now, how much it gives. Especially for those that like the new lips. Then I use a nude brown lip pencil. In my case, I have Lure by MAC. I use my lip liner after because it just softens the look a little bit versus harsh lines. Unless you're like some of us, some people where they do it with lip brushes all the time, which is great for them. Okay, I just lost the cap to that. Oh, I don't know. It's right here. So basically, I'm gonna get a little bit of gloss, which it's in my kit. My kit right here. It's basically nude. You can see it right there. There's some with glitter. Maybe we can do glitter, but either way, I'm gonna do this one. You can see this, huh? It's dark. Right there. Just in the center. And go back in there, color up. Basically did a lot of work. And that's it. This is my basic look. I'm gonna show you with daylight so you can actually see what I look like. Because the lighting sucks, which is that's it. Hope you enjoy. Bye guys.